Welcome to Midnight Story, a gathering place for mystical true stories from all corners of the archipelago of Indonesia. Tonight, I'm going to read you a story that comes from the heart of Borneo, about a black magic called Racun Sangga that is said to not only make sick, but can destroy households in silence. Disclaimer first. This story is based on true local testimony, combined with word-of-mouth tradition. Listen wisely, and don't use this story to accuse anyone without evidence. Prepare your hearts, because what you are about to hear is not just a myth. It's the story of a family literally torn apart by vengeance. In a village on the banks of the Katingan River, central Kalimantan, lived a married couple named Pak Lehman and Bu Rina. They have been married for 15 years, have 2 sons, and are known to get along well. Mr. Lehman worked as a rubber tapper, while Mrs. Rina helped out at the market. But behind the harmony, there was another woman who secretly harbored a forbidden love for Mr. Lehman. Her name was Darcy, a young widow whose house was not far from the rubber fields. It is said that Darcy had long wanted to snatch Pak Lehman, but Mr. Lehman always kept his distance. Heartbroken, Darcy decided to look for a shortcut, to visit a female shaman named Nek Ayah, who was known as an expert in Sangga poison. According to local beliefs, Sangga poison doesn't just make people physically ill. It works slowly on the minds and hearts of its victims. Affected couples will hate each other, suspect each other, and eventually divorce in disgrace. That night, Darcy brought offerings: 7 pieces of betel nut, a pinch of grave soil, a photo of Mr. Lehman, and a cloth that Mrs. Rina had once worn. In a bamboo booth, Nek Ayah prepared a small pot filled with a murky liquid, Sangga poison. With her eyes bulging, Nek Ayah chanted, "White smoke billows up." In their tradition, the liquid will be sent to the victim's house through the wind and dreams. As the Sangga poison begins to work, the household will crack little by little. For the first week, nothing happened, but slowly, the change came. Mr. Lehman came home from work in an agitated state. He suddenly suspected his wife of having an affair, even though there was no reason. Mrs. Rina also felt strange. Every time she saw her husband's face, she felt hatred for no reason. They began to fight over trivial matters: salty side dishes, shopping money, crying children. Mr. Lehman would often get very angry, then leave for the night to his friend's house. Neighbors were astonished. The once harmonious family was now like fire and oil. What's even scarier is that their children are also frightened. The atmosphere of the house turned tense. A rancid smell sometimes appeared in the kitchen. At night, Mrs. Rina often saw a black shadow sitting in the corner of the living room. In addition to the quarrels, strange illnesses began to strike. Mr. Lehman had a fever that wouldn't go away. Mrs. Rina often vomited black liquid. When examined at the health center, the doctor found nothing. One night, Mrs. Rina woke up to the sound of a woman crying near her ear. When she opened her eyes, she saw a woman with long hair standing at the foot of the bed, staring hatefully at her. In the morning, Mr. Lehman was furious for no reason, accusing his wife of hiding money. The argument came to a head. Mrs. Rina was kicked out of the house with their 2 children. Mrs. Rina finally returned to her parents' house in the next village. Desperate, she asked for help from Mr. Ramon, a traditional elder who was believed to be able to neutralize witchcraft. Mr. Ramon came with several people. That night, they performed a ritual at Mr. Lehman's house. A clay jug filled with river water and certain leaves was spun around the house. Mantras were chanted for hours. At the end, the jug was thrown to the ground. The liquid inside turns pitch black. Mr. Rahman just shook his head slowly. This is Sangha poison. The one who sent it wants your household to be destroyed. A few days after the ritual, bad news came. Darcy, the woman who sent the Sangha poison, fell strangely ill. Her body swelled. Her skin blistered. According to people's stories, the Sangha poison could eat the sender if her evil intentions did not succeed completely. She died in sad circumstances, in a house that is now said to have never been lived in again. Villagers say that women's cries are often heard from there every Friday night. Although the cleansing ritual succeeded in partially neutralizing the effects of the Sangha poison, Pak Lehman and Burina's household was never made whole again. The trauma, hurt and resentment that had grown made them choose to separate forever. Their children grew up with Burina's family. Mr. Lehman moved to another village, living in regret. He once said to a neighbor, "If only I didn't burn with anger so easily, maybe this house would still be full of laughter." This story circulates in the villages around the Kattingan River, serving as a reminder to everyone that hatred can be a fertile ground for witchcraft, and the science of Sangha poison is not just a fairy tale. It is real, growing out of human resentments that fester in silence. Thank you for listening to the true story of Racun Sangga, household separating Santet from Kalimantan. If you find this story useful as a life lesson, don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe to this channel so that we can continue to share other mystery stories. Remember, hatred that is nurtured will only become poison for the soul. See you in the next episode. May we all always be kept away from bad intentions and black magic. Good night.